Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kitty. On my channel I do like to do scary stories as well as story time. I also do vlogs, makeup related videos, live streams, and I do shopping hauls. So if one of those things is calling to you, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can join our family here. For those of you who are new here, we do this thing here on my channel where my subscribers, aka my friends, you guys will send in your supernatural paranormal stories, and I try my best to get to them and read them, and they make it here to a video. So that's what I'm going to do today. As you can tell by the title, we're going to get into some scary stories. Make sure to stay until the very end, and if you enjoy these kinds of stories, help us to keep these videos going by sharing your experience with us. Just a friendly reminder, I will be looking down a lot just because I am reading off of my device, and this will be the first time I am reading these stories along with you guys. Let's get into the first story. Hi Kitty, I enjoy your stories. I thought I would share one of mine with you. I'm from Miles Lacs, Indian Reservation, Ojibwe tribe. I grew up and would hear these scary stories, listening to these stories from other tribal band members. These people say that they encounter this mysterious tall black silhouette at night time only, that is wearing a long dark trench coat, wearing a long pointed hat that has no legs. So it floats around wearing this trench coat. They only see it at night roaming around the res. It will look like another person walking amongst them at night on the roads until they notice it has no feet. They'll freak out and turn the other way after noticing it has no feet. Once they look back to where they seen this trench coat, it will vanish. My uncle said he's seen him one night in the front room of the house he lives in, and that's where we used to smoke drugs at. My cousin, who also smokes drugs, happened to be there that same night. And I kid you not, my cousin began to fall out, also known as pass out, from smoking too much drugs. He had the drug sitting in his hand. My uncle would leave the windows open and the fan blowing out towards the window on full blast when we would be smoking. It was dark outside, like pitch black, but he also had the outside lights on in the garage that's right in front of the both windows of the room. They were both sitting in there for a half hour smoking. My uncle said he seen the shadow of the tall black silhouette outside the window. All he seen was the top of the hat. It was peeking in through the window looking at my uncle. Then the shadow of the silhouette came in through the window, and it started to hover over my cousin that was passed out. It stayed there for less than a minute. My uncle said he was scared and told that thing to get the out. After my uncle said that shadow formed into a full figure where he could see the trench coat. It was so tall it could almost touch the ceiling. The silhouette flew out of the window and disappeared. After that happened, my uncle never seen it again. My uncle and me have been talking about this thing, and he has concluded some theories about it. He believes that it's the spirit of heroin that lurks amongst people that smoke heroin and takes the spirit that ODs from heroin. It waits for people to fall out or pass out so it can take the soul of the addict who has passed from drugs. That is a pretty good theory. I would agree. I've never tried that, but I do know from research is that when you consume any kind of alcohol or any kind of drugs, you are basically opening your body into the spiritual realm, mainly to negative entities. So when you really think about it, a lot of times when we're under the influence of something, even if it's light like alcohol, some people don't think that's nothing, but anything that alters your mind physically and impairs your ability to do things, you are at high risk for something to take over you. You're an easy target, basically. So his theory, I think that is pretty spot on, that it's either, you know, something of what he said, or it can be like a demonic presence, because again, you are opening yourself to be vulnerable to these types of things. So for those of you who didn't know, that is basically what you're doing when you're doing drugs, drinking alcohol, doing bad stuff. You are basically opening yourself. So pretty freaky. Thank you for sending in your story. Let's get to the next one. This next story comes from the San Carlos Apache Reservation, where yours truly is from. Hi Kitty, this is a short story about when my brother and I went to the Apache Gold Casino and sat in the parking lot deciding what to do next. This was just 5 or 6 months ago. So the person sent this story in October, so this had occurred 5 or 6 months prior to October. Just making that clear. It was pretty late, and so we decided to take a nap a little until the sun came up. We let security know. I climbed in the back of the small SUV and tried to sleep. We were parked in the front, on the right side of the main entrance. Pretty sure the doors were locked. The place was pretty well lit, so it wasn't dark. My brother was sleeping, but every time one of us would fall asleep, the door handles would be tugged at, like someone was trying to open the door. I just have to say, back home on the reservation, the Apache Gold Casino, there's other stories that people have shared, their employees saying that there's just a lot of paranormal activity that goes on there. Everybody and their mama knows that place is haunted. So for this to happen, that is just like expected. Why are you trying to sleep over there? But at the same time, I don't know your what was going on, so maybe you had a couple drinks and were trying to sober up, which is good because you don't want to drink and drive. But man, let's get into it. This could be a feature from the car, but it was pretty freaky. There was no one to be seen, and the security was doing its rounds. I'm guessing it's a feature from the car, but why would it do this? Then, as we were leaving, an Apache woman wanted a ride to Bylis. Just sending this in because we didn't know at the time that the place was haunted. That was just weird that kept happening. Thank you for all you do. Very entertaining. Yeah, I don't know. That's just weird. I don't know any car that just keeps trying to, like, being tugged at, like your door trying to open. That's from the outside, right? Like, it'd be one thing if your door's locked once you close them, but no, I don't think that's a car feature. I really don't. Let me know down below if this is a feature from an HTE car. I highly doubt it. You guys be the judge of this one. Let's get into the next story. This next story comes from Montana. Kitty, I just discovered your channel last Friday. I wanted to contribute some stories to share. I used to listen to Harlan McCosta on NPR. Loved the stories he told too. I have no clue what NPR is. I'm gonna have to Google that. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. This first story happened to me in Montana in the 1980s. I was going to Montana State University and was traveling with my boss. We were traveling to all reservations in Montana and giving presentations to the high school kids, encouraging them to go to college. This particular reservation was the Crow Reservation in southeast Montana. We gave our presentation at the high school and headed back to our hotel in Hardin, Montana. We had just turned out the lights and were going to sleep. My eyes were closed. but I saw a grayish white woman bending over me and looking closely at me. I screamed and sat up. My boss asked what was the matter. I said, "There's a ghost here looking at me." She said, "Oh, is that all? Go back to sleep." She rolled over and went to sleep. I didn't sleep very well that night. I kept waking up and looking around to see if the ghost was still there. I prayed and surrounded myself with white light. I slept better after that. The next day, my boss went to the front desk to check out. She told them about the ghost. Surprisingly, the owner of the motel was white, and he said that was probably his mother. She used to help at the hotel when she was alive. She is now deceased, but when she was alive, she didn't like Indians. I guess dying didn't change her mind or her behavior. That's crazy. That is crazy. I do see, like, I don't know. That's crazy though how things just don't kind of change, you know, because I watch a lot of paranormal stuff and investigations and stuff, and these stories that these spirits, they're like the same as in the afterlife as they were here on earth. So it's just crazy that someone who was once racist toward Native Americans is still like that in the afterlife. It's just crazy, you know, like, and then they're stuck here. So maybe that's why they're still roaming around, because they couldn't, you know, they couldn't love us beautiful Native people. Thank you for sharing in your story. I am feeling good. I'm gonna do one more story. Let's do a fourth story today. Let's get into it. This story takes place in New Mexico. In the fall of 1997, I was driving home on the Interstate 25 from Las Cruces to Tohatchi. Sorry if I butchered that. It was in the evening. I decided to take a different route from Socorro to Quemado and then to Gallup. As I was driving near a very large array, I noticed my time was 10:30 p.m. I could see no vehicles in sight. I was being followed by a vehicle that displayed bright lights in front of it and on top. It was following me, and it decided to pass me. I noticed it had bright lights from its rear, and I couldn't make out the license plates. It sped off fast, and I lost sight of it. Then I drove for miles and saw the same vehicle, same lights going toward me, headed east in the other direction and lane, going very fast. I had a sense of urgency to drive faster, and just from behind me it followed me again. The vehicle came really close to me. It was then that I felt my hair on my neck rise, and everything became slow motion, all the movement around me. After a few seconds, I snapped out of it and saw the same vehicle pass me very fast, and it sped off away from me, going west. I looked ahead as the highway was hilly and I couldn't see the vehicle. Just then, the same object shot up into the night sky. I was frightened and hurried home. I did make it home safely. To this day, I won't travel on a lonely road at night, especially in the mountains. I still sometimes dream I'm standing on the hilly peak before dawn, and I'm standing in and around green illuminated courts on the ground. I look up and see a falling star, then it makes a turn to me. I see from where I'm standing the San Francisco peaks, blows out like a volcano, and then I wake up. It's always the same dream. I asked the medicine man to explain to me my dream. He told me it is foretold my dream could indicate the next level of extinction. That's weird. Definitely seems like UFO activity. I don't know if you keep dreaming about it. Were you like dare we say abducted. That's just weird. Like, why you would keep dreaming and having the same dream. I don't know, man. You guys leave your comments down below. Let me know which story was your favorite. Thank you, all 4 of you who sent in your stories. Again, if you guys want to keep seeing videos like this, you have to make sure to send in your story, or if you know somebody who knows somebody, make sure to have them email me. My email and contact information is always down below, but I'll put it right here for you guys. That is the best way to get a hold of me. And once I receive your story, I will do my best to get it on the rotation here with the videos. Thank you guys for watching until the very end. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up so that I know you're enjoying this content. And if you aren't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on these kinds of videos. We'll see you in the next one.
You